Hey everyone, I hope all you moms out there have had a wonderful and happy Mother's Day. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what happened to my day overall. I mean, it was a nice day, but I had something pretty shitty happen. My son had his senior prom, so I was up all night. I couldn't go to sleep until I knew he was home safe and sound, and he didn't get in until 5:30 this morning, so I've had no sleep, and I woke up feeling not so well today. I had a sore throat yesterday, and today I think it's progressed into more of kind of a cold. My head feels real stuffy and my throat's hurting, so I wasn't feeling real well on top of not having any sleep. But I got to see my mom and spend some time with her, which I don't do near enough, and that part of it was nice. But my husband wanted to take my mother and myself and our two younger children out to dinner today for Mother's Day. Now watch what I eat. I'm trying to lose some weight before my surgery. I've only got 3 weeks from tomorrow to go, so I do have a couple of places that are kind of what I consider my favorite places to go, and I had wanted to try and go to those restaurants before I had my surgery, because I know it maybe never or a very long time before I can go to them again. So that was what my husband wanted to do, was take me there to one of those places today for Mother's Day. And as of this morning, I've lost 13 pounds, so I was ready to splurge today and really enjoy the restaurant we were going to. And we get there, and every place is packed crazy today. It's Mother's Day. That's pretty much what everybody does, is go out to eat. So but anyway, we get there, and it's time to go to our table, and the hostess is taking us to our seats. And granted, like I said, I'm in an emotional wreck. I cried half the night last night working on that picture timeline of my oldest son, just going back down memory lane and realizing he's going to be leaving, and so I was really emotional about that all night. And then, like I said, worrying about him, even though he's a wonderful kid, and he doesn't drink or smoke. He's an athlete. He's real into making sure his body's pure and healthy, and so but I know what it's like. I know going to prom after parties, what happens, and so there's that temptation there, and so I couldn't sleep until I knew he was home safe and sound. And like I said, I'd already cried half the night, so I'm already feeling emotional. Plus, I'm feeling a little under the weather. And as we are walking to our table, we pass by, other people who are in there eating, and we passed this table with there was 2 or 3 guys there, and right as I walked in front of their table, one of the guys looks up and says, "Oh my God," like with this total look of disgust on his face, and wasn't real quiet about it. And I instantly turned around and I looked at the guy, and we made eye contact, and as soon as we made eye contact, he kind of dropped his head down back to he had a cup up to his mouth, and he just kind of looked down and started drinking into his glass. And I kind of whipped my head back and looked at my husband, and I don't know that he heard it as well as I did, or really put 2 and 2 together. But we went onto our table, and normally, well, I can't say normally that wouldn't bother me, because it does bother me. That's one of the reasons why I rarely go anywhere now, is because I don't like hearing those remarks that people make, and I don't like the stares that people give you. And it just really bothered me, because I'm like, give me a fucking break, dude. It's Mother's Day. I'm obviously here with my mother and my children. You can think those thoughts, but why did you have to just have total disregard and disrespect for I can't believe I'm still letting this bother me. Anyway, we ended up going to our table, and it was like I couldn't even eat then. It was like I was mortified. At that moment, I had just wished that I could have been invisible. And everybody's waiting for me to kind of get up and get ready to go get our food and get my food, and I said, oh, I need to sit here for a moment, and I've been having back problems. So I was like, oh, and Mom's like, honey, what's wrong? Why aren't you going to get something to eat? And I said, well, I just want to sit here for a minute. My back's really hurting me. But my eyes were just welling up, and I was trying to hurry up and get her and the kids to leave the table and go get their food. And my husband kind of looked at me and he says, are you upset? He's like, what that guy said, was he saying that to you? And I said, yeah. I mean, he was looking dead at me, when he said it. I said, obviously I discussed him. And he was like, don't let him upset you like that. Don't let him ruin your Mother's Day. And I'm like, no, I'm fine, I'll be okay. And I was like, just go on, go get your food. I just need to sit here for a minute, my back's hurting. And my husband said no. He said, it's bullshit. And he got up and he went over to those guys, and he went right up to the guy, and he was like, look, I heard, my wife and I heard what you said, and he's like, show some fucking respect, dude. He was like, it's Mother's Day, we're out here to enjoy dinner. He's like, and I heard the remark you made about my wife, and I don't appreciate it. He said, and if I ever hear anything like that come out of your mouth again, he said, I'll beat you down right here. And the guy was like, well, I didn't say that, I didn't say anything to your wife. And he was like, we heard you, she heard you when you were going by say, oh my God. And he was like, oh, I wasn't saying that about her, we were having a conversation about the price of gas. Yeah. And my husband says, you know what, he says, you know what, we know that you said it to her. He said, and I'm just letting you know now, if don't you think about looking at my wife or saying anything in any way to her again. He said, or I'll beat your fucking ass right here. And he turned around and walked away. Came back to our table, and I was like, oh my God, you went over there? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'll be damned if, some guy like that is going to ruin your day, and ruin your, enjoyment of your meal, because he's an asshole. And by this time, my mom and kids had come back to the table, and so, I was trying to get myself together, and I mean, it took me I bet you I had to sit there for about a good 5-10 minutes, and to get myself to actually get up and go get my food. I was just kind of like glued to my chair, even though, I was so glad that my husband did go and, stand up for me and say something to those guys. It just totally ruined the whole experience. I was so really looking forward to this, and this was, supposed to be one of those last suppers for me, a place that I really enjoy, and, just an asshole like that, 3 little words, oh my God, and kind of messed up my Mother's Day. Anyway, finally I did get up, and but even then I just hadn't walked with my head down, and I was so embarrassed, and so I just wanted out of there. I just wanted out of there. But at that point, I wasn't going to ruin it for my mom or for my children or my husband. So, I just went and got a little something to eat, and pretended like I was okay, but obviously I'm not. I'm still hurt by it, and then my mom, of course, she's like, what's going on? Where'd Freddie go? And I said, well, he went to confront those guys. They made a smart remark, and I kind of told her what happened, and she was like, well, you're, in 3 weeks you're going to have your surgery, and you'll lose some of this weight, and you won't have to worry about people making remarks like that to you. And I said, yeah, eventually maybe I won't have to worry about people making remarks to me like that, but that doesn't make it right. So what if I may have the surgery and I may lose the weight, and I may not have somebody make a comment like that to me, but this was a grown-ass man, on Mother's Day. I mean, what, without any regards, like I said, to anybody's feelings. He just, showed his feeling of disgust right there, without any regards to how it would make anybody feel. So yeah, it may not be me the next time I'm in a situation like that those comments are made to, but there's so many people like me every day who have people make remarks like that to them, and it's a vicious cycle, because I know for me anyway, I've heard remarks like that before. You know, my oldest son, I've been to his ball games before, and I've heard people, oh my God, you know, can you believe that's Quentin's mom? You know, because my son, he's like 6'2" and skinny as a rail, and I would be so embarrassed and ashamed for myself and for him. You know, I didn't go to a lot of his games because of that, and it just really pisses me off that people can be that insensitive, you know. I don't know. Anyway, I hope all of you out there had a more enjoyable Mother's Day than I have.